What you are looking at right now is an 1883 Carson City Morgan Silver Dollar. You can barely see the CC right here at the bottom. And as you can see, the majority of this coin is worn completely flat. It is, however, NGC certified, so why would someone send off a coin that is this very worn to be graded and certified? It's very clear it's not going to get a high grade, if a grade at all. What we are actually looking at is what's called a lowball coin. And there are a lot of collectors that actually collect coins. They try to put sets together of coins that are in the lowest possible condition. But other than the fact that they are incredibly worn, there are no other problems with the coin. There's no, bends or dings or dents or major scrapes, scratches, things like that. It's just worn. This coin right here, to get this worn naturally, would have had to have been used thousands and thousands of times to get this worn. So you could imagine the amount of stories this coin could tell if it could talk. Now, in a video the other day, and I'm going to hide the top here, in a video the other day, I actually asked you what you thought this coin would grade at. I'll put a link to that video down below if you haven't seen it yet. It was a coin show recap video. And very quickly, I just put a little pop-up. And there were a lot of people that guessed this could be like a 2 or a 3. And some people guessed that this was even possibly a poor 1. And that is correct. So what we're actually looking at is an 1883 Carson City poor 1. Now, some people asked me if I was putting a lowball set together myself, and the truth is I am not. I actually borrowed this coin from Mike. So Mike, thank you so much for Mid-America Coins. I definitely appreciate it. And we have to get this back to him very soon. But this is a really, really cool 1883 Carson City poor 1. Now, if you're wondering, and I don't want to keep you in the video too long, there is a huge difference in value from a poor 1 to even like a 2 or a 3 or a 4. And that's because people trying to put low grade, poor 1 lowball sets together have a lot of trouble finding these. A lot of the times that you send them off, it comes back with problems. It comes back with scrapes. It comes back with details that it's been cleaned. There's a million things that can go wrong. So you can send off a lot of coins that look just like this and not actually get a poor 1 back. So a lot of people will spend quite a bit of extra money to put a lowball set together to get their poor 1 instead of having to send off 1,000 coins by themselves and hoping. It's usually cheaper just to go the route of finding one that's already been graded. So I want to show you an example really quick of a lowball coin that is worth way more as a lowball than it is in much better shape. And we're talking about a conditional rarity key date. So let's flip over. I want to take a look at this. This is really cool. All right, so take a look at this. We are looking at an 1896-0 Morgan Silver Dollar. This one is certified by PCGS as XF40. It sold for $55. Now, something I'll tell you about the 1896-0 while we take a look at it here is the 1896-0 is what's known as a conditional rarity. What that means is that in certain conditions, it's very, very hard to find. In the case of the 1896-0, it's very easy to find this thing between VG and XF. It is very hard to find it at high AU, like AU58 and up. And a good example is, take a look at the selling price. This sold for $55. PCGS certified XF, it sold for $55. Because it's easy to find at XF and below. And as you can see, this guy even paid for free expedited shipping. He's paying the PayPal fees. So at the end of this whole transaction, he's out probably $10 at least, which means he probably ends up with like $45 after it's sold. Now, if we look at an AU58 or an uncirculated one of these, you're talking high hundreds to thousands and thousands of dollars, depending on the condition. Once it goes across MS60, you could expect to pay $2,000 for this coin for an MS60 version of this. But take a look at this. It's very easy to find an XF. It's very easy to find in low circulated condition because I made a lot of them. They just all got circulated. But take a look at a poor 1 version. This one also sold for $450. This one right here, PCGS certified 1896-0, poor 01. And we'll take a look at some close-up pictures. You can see it's incredibly worn, just like ours. Actually, it's worn a little bit more than the one that we have for our Carson City, because as you can see a little bit less of In God We Trust than you can on ours. And if we take a look here, you can barely see the date. So to be honest with you, ours is actually a little bit less worn than this one. And I don't know if that's PCGS, being more picky with their poor 1 grades between NGC. I don't know. But going back to the price, as you can see, this one sold for $450 compared to our XF40 that sold for $55. So a much better condition version of your 1896-0 sold for $55 versus $450 for the poor 01. And why is that? It's because, like I said earlier, it's very hard to find them in pour one. A lot of the times when you send them off when they're really low grades like this, they come back with problems. They've been cleaned, they're warped, like they're bent, they have dings, scratches, rim damage, all sorts of things happen. Because if you think about it, this coin right here would have had to have been spent thousands and thousands of times to wear naturally like that. And there are people that will try and fake wear a coin down, but supposedly PCGS and NGC can tell. They have ways to detect if it was fake worn. This one right here, they are saying this one has been worn. I can't imagine the stories that this coin could tell if it could talk to you right now. It's absolutely crazy to think about. Again, this would have had to have been used thousands and thousands of times. So anyway, when it comes to putting a lowball set together, you can understand why people may pay a little bit more because of how many you would have to send off. They may as well just go out and buy it that's already been graded by somebody else and add it to their collection. And can you imagine what it would cost to put a complete set together, a lowball set of Pour 01 Morgan Silver dollars? That would be kind of interesting to see. I'd love to see it. But anyway, guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope you learned a little bit. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below and subscribe. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. So thank you. And with that said, thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And we'll see you next time.